Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Gird your loins with an iron jock. Even you ladies. It's time for the good news, the bad news, and the other shit. As we said, the good news, the bad news, and the other shit. And part of the issue is that I so want to start you off in an air of positivity, but how the hell do I do that while discussing the news? So I don't know. So we're gonna try. We're gonna give it the hand because we think a lot of it is perspective. And indeed it is. Okay, for one, you guys, we've been talking a lot about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl it's over. But the ramifications continue because it echoes throughout the community here in Los Angeles. And one of the things that we're talking about is what the Super Bowl did or did not do here for the black community or for the residents who surround that SoFi Center. But it's not just that. It's about things like NASCAR. So today I want to introduce the concept of what has become the new normal. And I say that you don't have to be threatened. Let me speak to my friends and family who are not black. You don't need to feel threatened by the new normal. The new normal is just one of inclusiveness. Instead of everything being told from the perspective of how it affects white folks, it now is told from the perspective of the whole community. Think about it. After the Super Bowl halftime, there were a number of people who loved it and other people who talked about what did we turn into? See, what they were implying is that the Super Bowl halftime had become somehow black instead of normal. See, they refer to the normal Super Bowl halftimes, which I finally started to correct them and say, you mean the ones that have historically been white? Part of the new normal is recognizing that your old normals were bigoted and controlled. So the new normal is one of inclusiveness. So you're going to see more of that. And I'm glad to say a lot of it comes out of Los Angeles. We're seeing effects of the new normal. People going to Snoop's store across from the SoFi are of a variety. There are a rainbow of people who are coming out to buy that memorabilia. And it is all about the new normal, which I am actually loving because it really involves a sharing of what used to be the unshared. So now it's shared, the new normal. And some people are uncomfortable and other people are delighted. One of the things that my good friend Victor Allen, my partner in crime, brought up to me in discussing all this was the NASCAR event that had just previously happened here in Los Angeles. They went into the LA Sports Arena and, believe it or not, built a NASCAR track.
Coliseum.
Excuse me, that's right, the Coliseum, because Sports Arena is gone.
Right.
They give us a little bit of an update of what happened because you were informing me,
right,
and I was so taken by the effect of NASCAR and the fact that it slipped by me. Right. I don't know if it slipped by you guys, but it slipped by me. And so I'm going to let my partner, Victor Allen, tell you a little bit about what happened.
Well, many people already know who've already watched it. It was what they call bridging NASCAR with the community and the racing community and what actually communicates effectively. So, yes, you saw NASCAR getting bridged what they call hip-hop and rap icons who basically were going to put on a show like a halftime show, something that you're similar to in the NBA, something you're similar to, say, in the NFL. So what they did is they built this track over the field, and they call it, a short track. And yeah, was it something that maybe many people, well, I can't relate with it because I'm not following NASCAR, because NASCAR, at some point in time, there was this, historical representation that it wasn't inclusive and that they were losing fans. Well, when they did this, and I watch cars that go fast. Why? Many of us buy cars because they go fast. How many of us raise our hands and say, I want a slow car? So I'm interested in speed, okay? So forgive me if I go into watching something that may or may not reflect what they call a sea change of color, but there's another subject coming up on that, and I'll let you know about it. But really what happened was they were taken back. The announcers, the race car drivers was going, NASCAR needs to do this everywhere. They said they were having a ball. Because a lot of the NASCAR drivers have grown up with hip hop and rap as a language of community and where you reflect. And that can be the same whether you're black, white, or whatever. And so you saw it where they said, let's take a break. And then you saw it as it relates to how many people were having a great time. And that was what the transparency was. I didn't look at it as the history of NASCAR. I looked at it as I hope they do this and carry it.
Well, and Vic is being the most kind one can be. In other words, the racism. NASCAR started in the South as the rum runners who were running from the police. They were souping up their cars to run from the police. And those same people were your first NASCAR drivers. Inherent in this is the Southern bigoted, racist origins that are part of this. The Confederate flag has long been a staple at NASCAR, and indeed, if you want to go someplace where you're going to be openly insulted, be black, and go to a NASCAR event. NASCAR wants to go international, so they know they have to separate themselves from the past. So hence you have, once again, the embracing of the new normal. Part of it has to do, too, with the monies that are being infused into NASCAR. One of the things that came out in Victor and I, in my discussion, was who are the new teams, Vic? Who are the new teams?
Now you're coveting the segment that I was going to get into.
Is that you?
And let me just say this. I'm coveting that, but you're going to understand that how am I framing it is going to show you something that you go, wow, there's been a leapfrog from what organizations now are being very progressive. But I'll get to that later. So I'll address that when I get to my segment.
And so it is. So those are the things now I have a piece I wanted to talk to about also the new, our Department of Justice. You want to go first, Vic?
Oh, no, you go right ahead, man. I like your role right now. See, when you lean forward and get your shoulders humped over like that, it's already, there's a tornado coming. Continue, man. Do your role.
All right, let me give a disclaimer. We're about to head into the Mario Hemsley rant section.
There we go. See?
Let me rant. Now, remember, I've told you I want to be positive.
Too late.
I want to be positive to you, but some things it's hard to be positive. I want to know what the hell is Merrick Garland and the Department of Justice doing? What the hell are we doing? See, what's happening right now is Biden is enduring low percentage numbers. And part of that is because he's satisfying no one. He got elected really because of those of us on the left. Okay? That's how he got elected. And he promised action, and he really hasn't delivered. Kamala, we knew she was going to deliver because she's trying to lay in wait to be the first black president. So she's not going to say anything to affect anything. And so the Biden administration still appears to be playing like he's got on soft, warm, fuzzy gloves when it comes to dealing with Trump. Actually, what supposedly the plan is he wants to let the individual authority agencies that have actions against Trump handle that and stay out of the fray. But in doing that, there's an apparent lack of leadership. What about the Department of Justice? Do we get to just blow off subpoenas to congressional committees? There's actually no fallout for doing that. People will just get to refuse. Wow, what a sense of privilege. They'll throtten me with jail for jury duty, okay? Maybe because I'm black. But they get to blow off congressional subpoenas. Where is Merrick Garland? The part that really irritates me is this son of a bitch was going to be nominated to the Supreme Court. I don't think he's going to get there now. Okay, are they going to be embarrassed to bring up his name? So what are we doing? What are we doing? Lack of leadership. Now, since I'm on the point of the rant, let me give you the rant about the lack of leadership in COVID. It's obvious a bunch of the population is stuck on stupid, okay? All right? Around the world, they are stuck on stupid. They don't want to get vaccines. But they're going to flood the ER as they go into respiratory failure, okay? So they're stuck on stupid. The rest of the world wants to come out. The big controversy today is masks, even though as a physician I could tell you, masks never were the end all. Okay, this is so ridiculous to even have this discussion. We're having this discussion because universally you're having the worst response to the greatest health care scare in a century. This is the best we could do. So half of you are still clinging to Trump, who I have noted repeatedly is the most documented liar in the history of mankind. I will say that again. Donald Trump is the most documented liar in the whole history of mankind. There's no one even close to him. You look up lying president, they have his picture. Okay? All right? This is the way this shit works. All right? So here we stand today, and the problem again with Biden is this reflects on his history. And I've been supportive of him. Biden in the days when we were coming up was one of the white folks who would speak nicely to Negroes, which separated you back then because everybody else in the whole world was Trump. See, when I was 13, the whole United States was Trump. Okay? And Biden was one of the ones who would go to the meetings and say, you know, fellas, we shouldn't treat the Negroes like this. And they would say, oh, shut up, Joe, come and have a scotch. And he would get a scotch, sit down. And he would say, fellas, we got to be nicer to the Negroes. And they said, oh, fuck them niggas. And they said, have a cigar. And Joe would sit there and have a cigar. So Joe Biden was the one who would sit around with his segregationist friends and, in general, encourage them to be kinder to people of color. This is where it was back in the day. I'm sorry the language may have offended you, but it was made intentionally for emphasis. So this is how Joe Biden always was. He was a person who didn't want the conflict, didn't want to stand up, and had to always did acknowledge that those folks he was talking to were his friends. The segregationists were his friends. That's whose homes he visited. That's whose barbecue he ate, whose gin tonics. They sit around. So now he's the president and finding it difficult to take a stand.
Oh, boy, I got a question for you. But I'm going to leave it for another time. We don't have enough time.
I'm ready, Vic.
Who you voting for the next president? Don't even give me an election.
Lord. I guess I'm voting for Kamala.
See?
This is all going to be a joke.
All right.
You know, so that's a whole nother thing we could talk about. Because I'm not satisfied. I'm not a registered. I'm an independent, proud. I am not a member of the Democratic Party and have not been for some time.
All right.
Okay, and these are the kinds of reasons. Even though I will say this, the only thing I like about the current state of politics is the new people, like AOC. Okay, the people who are attempting to stand up for the people who have long been abandoned. Okay, so that's where we are today. That is where we are. We stand waiting for the Department of Justice to take action, and we stand waiting for Biden to do something. And I don't know. All he manages to do to me is look older and older on every broadcast, okay? It looked like on the latest ones he can't get his eyes open.
You know what?
He's like squinting through the whole damn broadcast. He's like, Biden did the whole broadcast like this.
You know, you got to stop. You got to stop, man.
I was thinking, that does not inspire confidence to me. I watched the whole broadcast. He was.
You know what? See, we got to give.
He was looking like Mr. Magoo.
Okay. You know, a lot of
I
people,
was like, what the hell is this? This the president? No wonder we can't do shit.
Who's Mr. Magoo?
Look it up. There's a bunch of old shit you got to look up watching.
You having a day.
There's a bunch of old shit.
You having a day, man.
Bro, that's why we need to turn this. We need to turn the news over to the one that the ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate.
No, they haven't.
Ladies and gentlemen, Victor Allen.
I haven't seen any iteration of
the full Monty.
No, man. Listen. First of all, let me do this so people can understand. That's Mario's ethos. That's his community.
Oh, Lord.
see, I got you. So you see what I'm doing here. Listen, I can't say that I'm going to inspire people. And people are going to sit back and say, what you going to talk about? What I realize is so people can understand, not that it's a big deal, nobody cares. I have made a promise in the last 3 or 4 years that I would partake in learning more about the community I live in, because in LA, you have one goal, to get in a car and drive as fast as you can to the other end and not pay attention to the left, the right, and the middle, which means is you're driving through communities, and I have made a promise that at this point I'm going to learn more. How will I do it? And I said, I'll do it on a bike. And since then, so people can understand why they see me, probably for those, the few that see me, that it has generated so much conversation from all walks of life, not just black, people of color. I mean, it is like a greeting card when I get on the bike. So that was the inspiration for what I do. Now, with that being said, it also says that, well, what are you going to cover, Victor? I said, I'm going to cover the life I'm involved in. It just so happens I like to use the bike because it transfers conversation. So if I go into a store, if I stop somewhere, it is immediate that people start asking questions. Now, recently, I thought it was an experience that the Rams parade was not a big deal. We didn't have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, but what I was doing is going, let me see if it's going to be some transparency and overindulgence in security. I was there a little late. I couldn't push through it, but I felt good. Why? Maybe because it was a celebration and I didn't see the obvious where things were kind of getting over policed. That was a big deal to me because I'm in LA and what that means. So I have what they call this this journey that I go on where I say the parade ends at the Coliseum. Why is that a big deal? Will we consider that our community? I consider it my community. And so I have to also apologize to Mario because
Yeah, where is that?
I sent it on your phone.
You sent it on my phone?
I forgot to send it to him. And I should have sent it to email so you can actually see it. So I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to send it to your email, Mario, while I'm doing this. That's my fault, you guys, because I was so busy going, he's going to check it out on his phone. But he was in his focus, which I have to allow him
Yeah,
to.
because where is it at the website?
Right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That was one of the things. That's what I'm going to send it to you because I didn't put it in the columns and in the trends or shout outs. But to continue on, let me just go on to what the subject I thought was more important to me while I send this to Mario. I thought it was very important for me to talk about a situation where the NFL looks terribly bad. And it dealt with the idea that there is an underrepresentation of ownership as it relates to people of color. And there's this new movement that's happening that deals with NASCAR. So I asked Mario yesterday, did you watch NASCAR to see the Super Bowl of racing, which is the Daytona 500? Do you know that a person of color almost won that race? And I was asking them that to say, how much do people know about that if you're not a fan? It's just not promoted. So for the most part, I had told Mario, you should check this out from the perspective that I'm bringing it to you, that also NASCAR is leapfrogging in the NFL. Why? How many black owners do you have in the NFL? None. How many black owners do you have in basketball? What, one? Michael Jordan? Do you know how many co-owners are in NASCAR that are people of color? 4. 4. So what does that tell you? They have embraced the community in a way where you have co-ownership, and they're mostly co-owners. And they are related to the movement that this is new fan base coming. And the new fan base basically is saying, don't worry about converting the old community. And when I say that, we're talking about old fans, traditional fans. But they have gotten involved in people who are former basketball players. So if I say the name Brad Daugherty, you think a 7-foot ball player from the Cleveland Cavaliers who was trying to stop Michael Jordan. And how would you know that now he's a co-owner in NASCAR? Okay, how would you know this? You probably don't follow it. Pitbull, Pitbull, co-owner in NASCAR. They're finding their way. Floyd Mayweather got his own team, okay? And Michael Jordan, in combination with a team that's already made an impact yesterday. And when I say that, they only have 3 cars in the race. And 24, it's called 2311. And Bubba Wallace, who came in second, is considered what you would call the student, where they have 2 primary drivers who've already won championships or have won many races, and he got this close. He has come in second twice. And in doing so, to me, he's establishing what he calls, I guess you can call it, his permutation through a new ownership that's making a statement. That wasn't as important to me. It was important to recognize that you now have this movement of minority influence. And so when I look at Pitbull, who comes from Cuban immigrants, I didn't think of Pitbull having this interest. If I look at Floyd Mayweather, they're finding something here that is telling them this works. And what did I do when I compared it to the NFL? The most popular sport, Mario, the most popular sport is terribly underrepresented. And at the same time, here's NASCAR with a history that says there's a leapfrogging that's taking place. What was more important about that? How soon do you think, how many years will it take before not NASCAR, but the NFL has its first official owner? Now, I know it's a billionaires boys club. For the most part, it's easier in NASCAR. But I find that the people who are trailblazing, when I look at Michael Jordan, who happens to have feet in both sports, NASCAR and basketball. And so you have this movement that's happening, and I'm applauding it. Because if you would have asked me 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, NASCAR was going to fall off the cliff, well, where should people's money go now? If you see this happening, is this a direction where you think you can have more success, or should we just wait for the NFL? What do you think, Mark?
Well, I think the NFL does nothing without. I think power will not allow you to take anything without a struggle.
Right.
Okay, so it has to be a struggle. It has to be a struggle. It's intended to be a struggle. And part of the struggle really is for everyone to acknowledge what kind of struggle it is. It's the fact that this goes on in 2022 shows you how bad it is. But it took until now for us to be willing to discuss it.
Right.
Up until now, there would be no discussion. And for the folks who keep saying, well, we need to move on, there is no moving on without acknowledgement. Can we say that again? All of the folks who keep saying, well, why don't we just move on? No, that means why don't we just let them get away with it? No, there is no moving on without acknowledgement. You know, there's acknowledgement and atonement, and then we move on.
Now, let me ask you from this position, though. I'm getting into the position of, do you see yourself becoming more of a fan of NASCAR because of what it is doing as far as ownership? That means you have say-so in decisions that are put in people's laps. That's just not because they're
NASCAR has no choice. If they want to go international and then they recognize the amount of dollars this is, they have to abandon being the sport of redneck racists and go mainstream.
Are they doing a better job than in the NFL? At this point, in comparison to ownership. Ownership, Mario. I'm not talking about.
I don't know, because having a team to me is not necessarily ownership. Okay, you now get to be a member of their club because you paid a certain amount of dollars. But I don't know if I consider having a team in NASCAR any degree of ownership. You mean you own your team?
Well, that's why I said it. We're talking about co-ownership of teams.
Yeah.
We're talking about Michael Jordan basically being an owner of a team.
Well, I'll say something when I see part of the NASCAR board of directors and the ownership of the NASCAR entity itself When
Right.
they have some people of color there, then that's when I'll ring the gong.
Okay, so progress
Progress, yes.
between the NFL and NASCAR as it compares to ownership at this time.
Yeah,
because we're not getting even coaches in, much less. Okay?
Yeah, and what is perceived as progress, but which may very well be, to a large degree, window dressing.
It could be. It could be. But then we're talking about the same in politics.
The same, exactly the
right.
same.
It's the same, right?
It's exactly the same,
you
which
got-
is why I say it could so easily be
Right.
window dressing, because it is.
Right.
You know, it's like Facebook and what they've done, and Meta and all these other people. When you start looking at them, the things that they voiced are not exactly the things that they put into effect.
Right.
And we have to hold them accountable.
Right.
At every step, we have to hold them accountable.
And that's the part. So one thing I wanted from Mario, that even if he didn't see the link, I wanted his passion.
Well, I know.
want
And one
your
of the
passion
things
back.
Omari points out, too, is that the Pit Bull Club that proudly featured here is actually partly owned by Herb. We know what Herb's last name from Roscoe's
Yes.
Chicken and Waffles.
Yes.
So Roscoe,
Yeah.
I got to give it up for the
Okay,
chicken and
so
waffles.
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're applauding because it's food.
Hey,
Damn, man, what kind of, you know what?
hey, you know, wait. Let's be real.
Well, you know what, this is
We
jacked
do
up.
acknowledge partial progress here. You know, because that's
Chicken
about
and
all the
waffles.
progress we get. Shit. So we
You
acknowledge.
know what? Mario already talked to her, so now he's applauding.
That's right. Send me something. You remember what you promised? I want my chicken, and I like all thighs. So send them over here.
You have to see, if Herb was in the chat room going, "We're making progress, I'll give you a free meal if you come in after the show," what will Mario say?
What can I say? We're gonna make them help. When we can get Pitbull and Herb over here, we'll serve them up right.
Hey, listen, you did your shout-outs, right? To your people, right?
Well, yeah, I try to do it ongoing, but go on, do your shout out, because then we got one last comedic thing I want to talk about before we get out of here.
Just send it back saying hi to VR, you know who it is. You know, Zenobia. Hey, Zenobia, I haven't seen you in a minute. Jose. I mean, listen, I'm just giving my respects and shout outs to those who are in the chat room. I see you in here. I'm trying my best to sit back and follow up. Jumont, I see you as well. Lucy, Lily, I got you. Just don't put anything that's a violation in my chat room, or I will display it.
Man, I'm saying you got some kind of. Look at some of your fans, Lily. What's happening, Lily?
These are good people.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm just saying.
It's a good
I
people,
said it was
man.
good. I'm just saying what's happening, Lily. You know what's up? You know, that's what I'm saying.
You know what? I see what.
I'm just saying.
If I sit back and say, "Hey, what's up, Chris? What's up, Rashid?" You feel different, right?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
And that's okay, you know, because I'm distinctly hetero, but, you know, I appreciate my gay fans.
I didn't say it, I'm just saying brothers.
I get some love from the gay community
How did he
for my hair.
transfer me say holler at the brothers?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody.
I don't know. You do. You get another coffee.
Well, Vic went down to the Coliseum.
All right.
Okay, so we didn't get a chance to see this. Vic, what's the matter, Vic? It won't go full screen.
You know why?
It's the way you embedded it.
That's right.
Oh, man. Okay, hold up. We got to
Oh,
go
no.
see. No, I want damn full
Dude,
screen.
Go to YouTube.
Shit.
See,
Excuse me.
You see what happens. You see what happens, man. You just gotta understand. Don't worry. You're at the Super Bowl champion.
I'm starting it over.
Oh, now you're gonna start all over.
That's right. It's just that good.
Waffles and food. You're at the Super Bowl champion, LA Rams. I had to come here to support. I didn't want to get to the street parade because it was just too packed. I'll be out. I forgot my phone.
Victor Allen.
Hey, what's up, man?
with ethos.
Yeah.
Leave it to Victor to come up with some shit you don't know what he's talking about. It's like, there you go. It's ethos now, Victor.
That's right.
It's the ethos.
I had to do it, man, because I had to. Listen. Sometimes, I learned something about that. If you go read the history as it relates, it's Greek, the whole thing. I think it permeates through all communities and culture, and I think that I can call it my ethos. It's about me. Now, when I go to Coachella, it'll be my ethos at Coachella. I'm planning to go to Coachella. I may not get in, but I plan to go.
Bravo. Well, on the way, I got a couple of things I want to mention. First of all, I want to thank all the people that have been responding to my post about Albert Einstein. It turns out that this was actually a politically charged posting. I never got this response. More shares than I've ever had with any posting, and also more repercussions. It turns out because I boosted this post, and it's amazing. I boosted this post on Facebook through Facebook advertising for Black Lives Matter. Somehow the post, when you do that advertising, ended up across the desks of a bunch of white people who obviously were not so impressed with the post. Talk about hate mail. The first time Pax Stereo has had actual hate mail in years, because I actually posted a posting about Albert Einstein and how he felt about black folks and civil rights and how he participated at black universities. Here he is giving a speech, giving a talk. And this posting in and of itself got more shares and also more vitriolic comments. Now, I am not the one, so I responded to a bunch of people with your mother, your father, and you can kiss me somewhere. So a bunch of them, and you know what's funny, like a lot of cowards, they went away. Also, a bunch of the cowards at Facebook are those coward profiles where they don't have anything. They just have because they're cowards. But I want you to know, believe it or not, they were willing to attack Albert Einstein, okay? Just because he supported black people. Called me a communist. I said, really? I'm a communist for this? First of all, who the hell calls anybody a communist in 2022? You old, stupid son of a bitch. But anyway, that's okay. But I want you to know that we appreciate it, and I'm going to repost this.
Wait a minute.
Albert Einstein, I'm going to reboost it. Just because we got such a good response from it.
You do know this, that sometimes people like to have fun to elicit a response.
They troll.
They may be 18 and not old.
Well, I told him, I said, your mama liked it, so tell her to stop calling me.
See,
so they kind of got the message. I told him, I've been fighting you. I fought your daddy and your granddaddy. I don't have no trouble fighting you. Okay? Okay, go wake your granddaddy. Break that son of a bitch up. Okay?
You know what? See,
I fought him.
Yeah.
Okay?
So what's the message?
The message is,
well, no, hold on.
Racists are out there. They feeling empowered to this day, and they even hate Albert Einstein. But he was a Jew, so they probably don't like that either. And he refused to work on the bomb.
Hey, you know something, Mario? I just caught something, man. You're not looking at the camera, but you must be looking at somebody. You talking to him, Mario, when you're looking at it?
I don't know. Let's get on to the good shit. In the era of inclusiveness, I found something that was most remarkable. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the new Barbie and Ken dolls. Let's take a look. Now, part of the new Barbie Ken doll thing was the whole body shaping. I want you to take a look at this first group of Barbie and Ken dolls, because this one, I don't know, she looked pregnant right here. I don't know.
I knew you doing
I'm just saying, this one do look pregnant.
Right.
But let's look at the other ones. This one's hair is bigger than her hips.
Okay.
I think I dated this one. But you know what? Some of the dolls look kind of good.
Here we go.
I was saying, I'm like, well, let's take a look. So this is the new Barbie Ken doll. Look at this group. Look at this group. And now I'm not going to say, see, we celebrating folks today. I'm just saying, once again, a lot of the Ken dolls look a little gay. Now, it's cool with that because we need our audience, but the dress and the lips kind of, to me, I don't know. You know,
Oh, that's cold.
That's
Oh.
cold blood. We're not even supposed to repeat what Amari said. They got the handicap. I don't know what this one is. Could be Latino. So it's semi-Asian. We got, some of these. So let's take a look at some of the other dolls. How's this other group? Now we got the female. Okay, this is the one. Look, she's an amputee. This one's, I don't know, a statement. And I don't know who this was. Okay.
Are you supposed to know who they are?
I'm just saying, look at the new Barbies. Come on, look. Take a look at this. Take a look at this one with the, I don't know if you call that good hair. What you call that hair?
You know what? You're
Now here's the one. This is Chris Brown. This is Chris Brown Barbie.
You're tearing this apart.
I'm just saying. I don't know. This one, I don't know. These are just people making their own Barbies, see? So I did find these two. I said, it kind of look like Chris Brown to me.
You know what? See.
I'm just saying, even the light-skinned brothers get to have their own Barbies. See, you get the reflection of the black milieu of skin. And check this one out. This one dressing like Vic.
So now you're going to go there. You're going to go there now. You know what? Let me look.
No, see, wait.
Hold on. Let me check
why
it out.
the lips got to be so pink? I just want to know why the lips.
Okay.
I'm looking at the Barbie. I'm saying the lips are very pink.
Wait a minute.
Take a look at this. So I think this is Gay Ken.
You know what?
And and you know what? I was going to call up some of my gay friends and ask him, how you feel about the Gay Ken? Does he look good? I think he looked good, kind of, because he looked, the lips kind of.
You know what, dude? You're
What?
at a different level right now.
Look at
You know
this
that.
Barbie. Look at Ken.
Okay, no.
Okay, I'm just saying. Now here's one of Vic. This one,
well, yeah,
NFL.
all right, I'm good.
Antonio Brown Barbie.
Listen,
Antonio.
if I'm going to look like I'm devoid of that last one, bro.
This is Antonio Brown Barbie. See,
You know what?
I'm just saying. Antonio Brown. Then they got the sister. Now, see, we don't mind her puckering up.
You know what?
But look at the hips. Look at the hips. Look at the hips on the sister Barbie.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
This is our segment.
I'm just saying. I'm a black man, but somebody's been listening.
You know
Somebody's been listening.
Oh.
And then, of course, we don't want the white folks to feel left out. We don't want the white folks. So here they go.
Is that Reacher from the show?
Just reach.
I'm
I'm
just
just saying.
just
Give it up.
Hey man.
Look at everybody got the new hairdos.
Hey,
Give it up for the new Barbies.
You know somebody is.
Take it off.
I'm going to say that you have to go out and find the Barbie collection that includes the reflection of you, my brother. Did we see any there with locks?
No.
No,
But we
okay.
saw the man bun.
Okay. All right.
I have had the man bun.
Okay. I'm good.
Hey, the new morning coffee, we're just getting back in form. We've been gone for almost 2 years, doing things differently, expanding. So right now we're still actually in the beta phase. I want everybody to understand too, what we've been doing is making sure that everything is working in the fashion to which we are accustomed. And we are in the process of changing all these broadcasts. So coming for the spring, we are working on it. The new broadcast, the new Pax Stereo, the new points of emphasis, and we want you to please let us know all the things that you are finding good, bad, or whatever. Looking forward to hearing from our people. Vic?
Yes, sir.
It's been another week.
We have to find some hopeful programming for you. Hopeful programming. Things that is inspired. Because I was waiting for inspiration moments because somebody said after 2 years, Mario right now will be finding a better place of peace. You think you're on your way, man?
No.
Okay. I'm good. Let's go to the next thing.
Well, we want to thank you for tuning in. It's been wonderful. We'll see you next time.